अनन्तं विभुं निर्विकल्पं निरीहं शिवं सङ्गहीनं यदोङ्कारगम्यं निराकारमत्युज्ज्वलं मृत्युहीनं परं ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि। स्वराज्य साम्राज्य विभूतिरेषा भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिम प्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने। नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु। नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु। नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु। नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः। यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते। यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते। हरि ओम। So starting from 14th chapter, then partly in 16th, 17th and 18th so far, the discussion on Gunatraya is going on, coming and going. Because 16th also it is Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. That is again discussion on our characteral qualities. Then 17th again Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. That Shraddha means how do we evaluate. So there also what is Sattvika Ahara, what is Ahara, what is Rajasika Ahara, the Gunatraya going on in 17th. And 18th we found that so many aspects of our personality, karma, katta, jnana, sukha, dhruti, all have been analyzed in the with the three coordinates of sattva, rajas and tamas. I think this ends here up to what we had done last day, that is 40th verse, 39th verse. It ends here with a concluding statement that na tadasti prithivyam va divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakritijair muktam yadevhisyat tribhirgunaihi. In anywhere, anything in this creation, on this earth or in the heavens, there is nothing which is freed of this, all the three gunas. That is, all the three gunas will be there everywhere Prakriti is. Nature, it is part of nature. Nature is made of these three gunas. This confirms that knower is not that in his personality, the three gunas will not work. The personality will be under the play of under the swing of the three gunas. But he identifies his identity with the soul, which is beyond the three gunas. It is not part of the world, part of the objectude. Consciousness is not a material. It is the amness in us, so he identifies with that. So that is how he is gunatita. Not that the three gunas are not operating, but the gunas, whatever bondages they create in our personality, he is freed of those bondages. He will not have the bondage. Now we are going to a new section of 18th chapter. It is again based on the three gunas. Guna discussion is over. Now it is called the Varna Vibhaga. In our country, or you can say in Hindu Dharma also, there are fourfold divisions. Like I said, purushartha. Purushartha is fourfold purushartha: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Then ashrama, that is the phase of life, where we are staying in what manner, phase in our life. Brahmacharya, garhastya, vanaprastha, sannyasa, 4. Similarly, varna, there are 4. That is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. And what else is that? 4 like that. Ashrama, Purushartha, Varna. I think that's all. Now here we should understand Varna means color. Jati means how one is born. Jati, the word comes from Jat, that means birth. Whereas Varna is the color. Now these 4 divisions of the Varna, if you go into the other Shastras and all, you will find it is there in everything. That is in Ayurveda, you will find that Sattvika plants, Sattvika herbs, Rajasika herbs, that is Brahmana herbs, Kshatriya herbs, Vaishya herbs and the Shudra. The trees are also classified like that. Depending on their gunas, these 4 varnas are there in the trees, plants, everything. And most surprisingly, when we were establishing, Swamiji was establishing the Dakshinamurti temple, we found that for the sculptors, these 4 types of stones are also there. That is, what kind of an installation we want. Is it a Vaishnava Durga or a Shakta, or is it a Shiva or Dakshinamurti? Depending on that, what kind of an installation it is, depending on that they have to find out a stone. That is, for Vishnu Pratishtha they have to find out a Brahmana stone. Like that. So, and what is the stone characteristics? They have their Shastras. The sculptors, artisans, they have their Shastra. They recited the quality of the... We were having Dakshinamurti Pratishtha. So what 2 shlokas he related? That what do you want? This you want or that you want? And we had to select what we want. Because we wanted Dakshinamurti not just as a Shiva. We wanted Dakshinamurti is the knowledge, is the deity of wisdom. And wisdom is beyond all religious limitations, everything. No limitation is there. So we had to opt for that. And correspondingly they chose the stone. And how it has to be curved also will be depending on that. These sculptors are traditional sculptors. They are very erudite. Their Shastra they know very well. And they will not just do the work as we do in the factory, just going that starting work, not like that. They will follow all the scriptural injunctions, the purity attached to that. Otherwise, their work will not be. They say that it won't have its power. It will lose its power. Even the stone will break. It will crack. So, these divisions, these are widely misunderstood and misinterpreted also. And our civilization is condemned because of the caste system and all. Actually, it is not caste, but there are so many things. Listen with enough care so that we understand what it is. These varnas are according to the qualities. That's first sloka itself will tell us. Let us read it. 41, 18.41. Brahmana Kshatriya Visham
Brahmana Kshatriya Visham
Shudranam cha parantapa
Shudranam cha parantapa
Karmani pravibhaktani
Karmani pravibhaktani
svabhava prabhavair gunaihi
Swabhava prabhavair gunaihi
Brahmana Kshatriya Visham
Brahmana Kshatriya Visham
Shudranam cha parantapa
Shudranam cha parantapa
Karmani pravibhaktani
कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि
svabhava prabhavair gunaihi.
स्वभावप्रभवैर्गुणैः.
He says that these four categories, the four varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, their work is divided. What kind of a work each person, according to his qualities, he will be doing, that is according to the svabhava prabhavair gunaihi. We have to understand this word very well. Basically, it is coming from his natural tendencies, svabhava. I will explain svabhava in greater detail. That caused by his natural tendencies, the gunas will function in him. What are the gunas? Gunas also are the quality functioning. Sattva guna, rajoguna, tamaguna. Depending on his swabhava, his natural tendencies, this guna constitution will be there. Also earlier in 14th chapter we discussed that guna constitution is not absolute. You might have been born with a certain guna constitution, but it is, you can always change the constitution by changing your ahara, the inputs. If you have more and more of sattvika inputs, you will be having more of the sattvika nature. So the guna constitution will undergo a change. But depending on your guna constitution, the work is divided. That is what he is saying. Now let us go into what is this Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. These three qualities, three gunas we have known. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Now with these three permutation combination you will have these four. How? In Brahmana, wherever Sattva followed by Rajas and Tamas. Sattvika followed by Rajasika, Tamasika. There it is Brahmana. Where the Rajoguna is at the top, Rajo followed by Sattva guna, Tamo guna is Kshatriya. They will have the power and courage and all that because of the Rajoguna. But the following the Rajoguna is the Sattva guna. So their Rajoguna is guided by a Sattvika tendency. Then comes the Tamoguna. Vaishya, it will be the Sattvika will be at the end and Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Vaishya, it will be Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattvaguna. You can write as RST, SRT like that. It is easy. That is, first one is SRT. Second one is RST. The third one is TSR. TRS. RTS. Third one is RTS. Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattvaguna. And the fourth one is Tamoguna at the highest. That is TRS. RTS, TRS. These are the four. That will determine their characteristics and everything. Now, don't say that these are there only in our country. These are there everywhere. These four are the broad categories. You can divide them into various other categories also. Amongst the Brahmanas, you can have 100 others also. That is not there in our Shastras. Now suppose anywhere you go in the world is not a particular kind of people doing the manual jobs. If you go to USA also, they may not name them as different categories also. But you can see them and their figure and everything. They are hefty, they are physically working people. So they are doing the manual work. Similarly, those who are professors, they will have the Sattvaguna more. You can easily identify them. Not that all will be. In general, it will be like that. People, according to wrong choice, they go for other things also. But the right things, you can easily make out. So it is only that the names are not there. Names are not given. That's all. But the Varna is there in everything. It is there in the dogs and animals also. The deer is considered to be a very Sattvaguni. That is why deer skin in our people used to use the deer skin. But tiger is a Rajasika. But tiger skin also our sadhus used because of the power impact in it. That is particularly tiger was being used by the some, what do you call it? Shakta sadhaks, those who are pursuing various powers of nature, handling various powers of nature. In some cases, the practice of power is mixed with the knowledge also. So they can also use the tiger skin, like that. So in animals also this division is there. That some animals are sattvika, some animals are rajasika, some animals are tamasika. You know that traditionally the buffalo milk is not to be taken by our people because buffalo is a tamasika animal. So the milk of the buffalo will have also the tamasika effect. The inertia will be more. We will be occupied by the tamasika forces more. Like that food, it is always having all these differences according to that. So these are the 4 categories. And they are defined according to their natural tendencies. Svabhava pravavair gunaihi. The gunas operating in them who are caused by their svabhava. Now to know what is the meaning of svabhava, you go to the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna is asking Krishna various 4 things or 5 things he has asked, of which one is svabhavaha. 8th chapter, 1st verse. I think so, I am correct. He asked in the first verse, Kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam.
Kim tad brahma kim adhyatmam.
Kim karma purushottama.
Kim karma purushottama.
Adhibhutam cha kim proktam.
Adhibhutam cha kim proktam.
Daivam kimuchyate.
Adhidaivam.
Adhidaivam kimuchyate.
Adhidaivam kimuchyate.
Adhijajñah katham kotra.
Adhiyajñah katham kotra.
Dehesmin madhusudana.
Dehesmin madhusudana.
Prayana kale cha katham.
Prayana kale cha katham.
Jnyosi niyatatmabhihi.
Jnyosi niyatatmabhihi.
So many definitions he wanted to know, of which Kim adhyatmam. Only this, I have gone to this only to say, his one question is Kim adhyatmam. That is, what is the adhyatma? We say spirituality. The Sanskrit term is adhyatmika vidya, adhyatma vidya. This adhyatma vidya in English we call spirituality. So it is very important to know what is this adhyatmam. That is what Arjuna is asking. And Krishna simply replies that Aksharam Brahma Paramam, then Swabhavo Adhyatma Muchyate. Swabhava. This Swa is actually our real identity. Swa means I. Swabhava, as the real identity is expressing. Bhava means Prakasha, as it is expressing, manifesting. Swabhavaha Adhyatmam Uchyate. That means this Swabhava is called the Adhyatma, that spiritual being in us. Do you get it? No. Now, what is this Swabhava? One is that our real identity, what we know in meditation or in Samadhi or so, that identity is same whoever knows it. Anybody in meditation, in Samadhi comes to know of his Atma, it will not be different because there is no body, mind, personality, no world, nothing. It is just the consciousness he comes to know. That is our real identity. That is the Swa. That Swa is same in everybody. And that is the fundamental basis of our spiritual, all categorization, all theory, everything. Because everybody in inmost level, they are the same. Whether he is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, Sudra, whether he is Sattvika, Rajasika, whichever is prominent, for anybody, he is his real identity. There is no difference at all because it is not divided by the personalities. The real identity, the Atma, is only one, and not even one, it is transcendental. Transcending one also. So there is no difference at all. But there is another aspect of the svabhava, that is this identity when it is manifesting through the personality, then it will be taking up the qualities of the personality. For example, you think of Ramakrishna Dev and Vivekananda. In their realization of the truth or Atma, both are absolutely identical. The Atma for Vivekananda or Ramakrishna Dev is not different. It is the same Atma. For anybody's Atma is the same. But in their realization also, they have known the same Atma. But that same Atma is manifest through Vivekananda's personality and manifest through Ramakrishna Deva's personality. Are not two poles apart. What was Ramakrishna Dev doing and what was Vivekananda doing? Poles apart. Similarly, Baba and Swamiji. In realizing their real identity, there is no difference at all. But in Baba's case, it is manifest through, as Baba was, he was throughout in his room. Whereas in Swamiji's case, it is manifest through a person who has been roaming around all over the world. So, it is all to do with the personality qualities through which this swa is manifesting. Is it clear or not? So, svabhava, as far as the swa in its essence is concerned, there is no difference for anybody because it is not body limited. It is irrespective of all the creations. Whereas that consciousness, when it is manifesting with the association of the body-mind personality, it takes up the body-mind personality characteristics. Now, that is why each person will have some natural tendencies, natural qualities, natural parameters in his personality. But what happens is that you will find later on, swadharma is coming, swakarma is coming, svabhava is coming, all are basically same. Swadharma means one whose natural, what is his natural law of functioning, that his personality. Swakarma also is what are the work he will do by following his natural tendencies. These are all there. Now what happens is that because of desire, we are not following the svabhava. Suppose in school nowadays, one boy or girl is very good in art, in music, art, etc. But because there is more establishment, more status and money in IT, he or she will take up IT. Earlier it was engineering also, that even a person given to very much to art and literature, because science is more rewarding, we can say. So they will opt for science, and sometimes they will fail also, because they are not geared for that. So we are not allowing, our society is also not allowing the proper qualities to flourish. In our country, far back, if you see, you will find that the country had gone to the highest position in every field. The sculptors, the kind of sculpture in our country, even now scientists are not able to understand how they have made it, and how they took the stone also there, nobody knows. They forget about the beauty of the whatever they have curved in that. You know that in Ellora, the last one, 16th cave, I think, 16th or 18th, 16th cave, the whole temple is cut from the top. The hill they have cut the hill. It is a single stone. Along with the deity and outer decoration, everything has been cut from a single stone. They started from the hill. How will they know what is going to the temple, what is coming down there? They have a way of testing the stone also, how the hill might be and all they might have had. But finally to give it that kind of a shape, that amazing. Like that it is not one. There are so many things. Similarly, those who are weaving, the weavers, when they sent the Dhakai silk, that what is it called? Muslin, Dhakai muslin. It was presented to Victoria, Rani Victoria, Queen Victoria. I think it was in a shell of elaichi, or it was passing through the ring. Both I have heard. I don't know which is true. Both way. No, matchbox was not there at that time. Matchbox is too big. Ring, that happened there, that it could when it was shown to Victoria, Queen Victoria, that you can pass it through the ring you are wearing here. Then what they did? They asked all the thumbs to be cut. Because if this is so, then our material we cannot sell in India. They will win over the whole world. It is not on thumb, whether actually it was ordered or not, even if it is not true, but it is written there, it was done. Otherwise also the whole Vastra Shilpa was completely removed, because after the Industrial Revolution, the mill products will not sell in our country. Special tax was put. The whole weavers, their community was completely shattered. So, in everything you will find this excellence, as we call excellence. Excellence was the term to be used for any field in our country. Can you imagine a literature where everything is written in poetry? Medical science is in poetry, astrology, astronomy is in poetry, mathematics in poetry. Everything is poetry. And if you want to know a little touch of it, there is a book called Wonder That Sanskrit Is. Wonder That Sanskrit Is, Sampadananda Mishra, published from Pondicherry, Aurobindo Ashram. You will find that some of the poems are written with only 2 letters. Only 2 alphabets they have done in a manner that the whole poem means. Some examples they have given there. It is amazing. Nobody can even imagine the height. Then can you imagine that these Shastras were going from mouth to mouth? There was no writing at all. What kind of excellence it is? The sutras, the Panini Sutras, even now the whole world is not able to understand how could anybody make these sutras. It is told that Mahadeva came and danced and that Damaru sound, he got all the sutras from there. And that became the great basis for his. It's all excellence in every field. So it was similarly music, the classical music. What kind of excellence we had? Everywhere in any field. You know that the university, the oldest university we know on the earth, that is in Pakistan now, Takshashila. It is BC, much before the 500 BC or so. It is Buddhist and Hindu period both together. In that Takshashila, there were 4 gates. And at the 4 gates, there were 4 Dwarapalikas, that is sentries. What was the quality of the sentries? Anybody entering the university gate will have to defeat him that is, answer all his questions. That is, to enter the university, you need a certain erudition and panditya. You have to answer through which you are entering. Suppose you are entering through the northern gate, you have to give your interview at the Prahari there. And that Prahari is a great intellectual giant. So you have to defeat or you have to reply all his questions so that he will allow you. It is amazing. Even so many stories, not stories, real facts are there. More and more we read, we will be astonished that how such a civilization was there. This Varnashrama Dharma is one major thing for having that kind of an excellence. Why? Because musicians, children will become musician, his children will become musician. Like that, the quality will grow to this maximum level. Why am I saying this? That although it is Varna, it is the quality, according to the quality, Bhagavad Gita is dividing. But that quality will automatically become a jati. That is caste. Jati means by birth. Why? Can you think of a manual laborer marrying a professor lady? A professor lady to marry, she will look for similar mentality of a person. A musician will look for a musician. An ordinary person who is not given to any study or so will look for such a person to marry. So if 2 similar persons marry, then what will be the children? That kind of quality will be going further. So when the 2 musicians marry, the music in the next generation goes to a higher level. if two erudite pandits, they marry, the erudition goes to a higher level in the next generation. And further it will go on, further progressing, because that child also will marry. In general, there will be exceptions that we are not considering. In general, that is how each quality will excel in its field. Because of this Varna becoming a Jati, turning into Jati. That is, earlier it was only depending on the qualities, but because the similar qualities will marry, very soon in 4-5 generations it will become by birth, those qualities will become. You see that the musicians, children, they start singing or giving tala from the age of 1. They will have all these things. By the age of 5-6, they will sing beautifully. Whereas in many cases we are struggling at the age of 50-40 also. No surah comes out of it. It is impossible to have a surah from us. It is only because of the heredity that qualities are always becoming like that. So whether these names are there or not, this kind of thing is there everywhere. Even in America also, a professor is marrying a professor. A manual laborer is marrying a manual laborer. A Raja is marrying a Rani. Like that. Everywhere it is so. But here, this was based on certain categories and karma. That is why these 4 divisions were very important. That the karma of a person was according to the Varna. And that made all the karmas different and they excel in each field. It is not just the social status that mattered. Now the basic fundamental point is that does not give anybody to look down upon anybody else. This is the most important point. Our country suffered and came down to the dark period came because the whole thing got transformed and people started looking down upon other castes. So those who were more, suppose the Kshatriyas and the Brahmanas, if they start ruling the country, one by knowledge, another by power, and they look down upon the Vaishyas and Sudra, then naturally downfall is there. So that was the problem. In our Shastras, repeatedly, that is why it is saying that as we go forward, you will find that for everybody, this ultimate level is open. Anybody can take to and become Gunatita also by doing his own karma, but changing his attitude of the karma. That is what the Bhagavad Gita is. That is, it is not restricted to anybody at all. But whether you are ruling the kingdom, whether you are studying the Shastras, first studying the Shastras, ruling the kingdom, doing business, or helping others by your manual power also, by cultivation and other things also. It depends on how are you doing. If you do it according to Bhagavad Gita, guna guneshu vattanta, it is the guna of my personality that is doing the work. I am not there. There is no ego, there is no sangha, there is no phala also. Phala means that I will become happy. That means it is becoming, the whole work becomes phenomenological. Phenomenological means? In physics we use the term. That is, suppose it is same as they are saying guna guneshu vartanta. That means I am just a witness. The body is a play of the gunas. My personality is a play of the gunas. It is interacting with the gunas of the world. So it is actually a play of the gunas going on. Some in the form of my body, mind, personality, some in the form of the world. They are interacting with each other and I am only a witness there. This is how a person will become Gunatita. So that is open to all. The moment you are doing and you are associating your ego with that, and by doing my work I will become happy, all these things, Sangha and Phala, these two, then you are caught in the bondage of the gunas. So we will discuss further about it as we go forward. So we have to remember that svabhava is there are two aspects. One is same for all, and when that svabhava expresses or manifests through our body, mind, personality, then it takes the color of that body, mind, personality. Accordingly, the Varna Vibhaga also comes. Now, he says what are the karmas. He said karmani pravibhaktani. The karmas, the activities have been divided following what? Svabhava prabhavair gunahi. According to the gunas acting in their personality, according to their natural tendencies. For that the division is made. Shamodamastapashaucham
Shamodamastapah shaucham
kshantirarjavamevacha.
kshantirarjavamevacha.
Shamodamastapashaucham
Shamodamastapah shaucham
kshantirarjavamevacha.
kshantirarjavamevacha.
Jnanam vijnanamastikyam
Jnanam vijnanamastikyam
Brahma karma svabhavajam.
Brahma karma svabhavajam.
As they were categorizing sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna in all the cases, all aspects of life, now he is saying that these are the activities of a Brahmana. Brahmana according to his natural tendencies. So the karma also is following which karma will be best done with his natural tendencies. That is SRT. Sattva guna followed by rajoguna followed by tamoguna. Shamaha, that means complete calmness of the mind. That is control, you can say, but control there is artificiality. It is not control. It's a disciplined mind, you can say. Very disciplined, peaceful, calm, poised mind. Damaha, that means the indriyas, the sense organs also are under control. They will not misbehave. Tapaha, they will be always given to tapas, tapasya, austerity. What is the meaning of tapas? Austerity means generally by birth we are given to our lower tendencies. That is, our sense organs are always slave to the worldly attraction, repulsion. We call it austerity when we prevent the flow of the lower nature to degradation and becoming more and more slave to the object. Suppose I am given to lot of overeating or preferential eating or so. The austerity will be to fast one day at least. What happens by that? I am controlling my eagerness always to eat or eat this, eat that. So one fasting is an austerity for that. Similarly, if I am given to too much speaking, that always speaking, for everything I have a solution and everywhere I go on, bug. So the austerity will be maunam. At least one day you keep silence. But generally they will start writing, giving slips to people. So that means the mind is still, it is not silent. But austerity means wherever we check that what is our tendency to go according to the slavery of the objective world, we restrict, that is the austerity. Meditation is a kind of austerity. Reading Shastras, normally we will not read, we will read only novel or so where our other sense satisfaction is there. But to read a Shastra is an austerity because you have to hold your concentration on something which you do not like initially. That is, doing what you normally would not like is an austerity. Normally would not like to do. Or when you do not like to do, you have to do, that is an austerity. Every time before going anywhere, not only Jamshedpur, whether it is Delhi, Malaysia, USA, wherever, before going, I have told this, I start almost crying. I can say crying also. I don't feel like going anywhere. So it is very difficult to make me finally go. After going, I am all, okay, theek hai, ho gaya. As long as I am outside, it is okay. But before we take the step, it is really, and Swamiji says, Nutun, what else shall we do? This is our austerity. Do I like to go anywhere? I have been doing this throughout my life. Oh yes, theek hai, hum bhi jayenge, theek hai. Immediately, because Swamiji says that he has been doing throughout his life for 65 years or so as an austerity, and this is what a sannyasin should do. In olden days, the sannyasins will go through the villages and all, walking through, and Whatever they see, they meet, their influence will be like that. Now in this world it will not happen. So you have to go by plane and go to a place. It is a different kind of a parivrajana, but it is a parivrajana for us. Go and meet people. We go to other places so that those who need this knowledge, they will have the exposure. That is the fundamental thing. That is an austerity for us. So what you do not want to do that, and what you do not like not to do also, what you want to do, not to do that, and what you don't want to do that. Like that. Both are austerities. So that is the tapaha. Shamaha, damaha, tapaha. Shama means the mind under control. Dama means the body and the senses under control. And tapaha means this. Shaucham. Shaucham has got two aspects. Exterior and interior. Bahish shaucham and antas shaucham. It has come from shuchitva. Shuchi means purity. Shuchi means pure. Shaucham means purity. Bahish shaucham, you always know that taking bath, brushing and keeping things clean, washing clothes, wearing everything clean. These are all the external shaucha, that is keeping clean everything. More important is antas shaucham, that is keeping the mind clean. Clean means cleaning the mind out of all the wrong tendencies, slavery tendencies. That means blaming others, always criticizing others, having lot of greed, ambition. These are all polluting the mind. Ambition is never good. Although we tell our children that they should have ambition, what should they have is an aspiration. Neither ambition nor desire. There is a difference. Aspiration means it's a current force. Aspiration is a current force. That is, aspiration for purity means you will always look for purity and you will always cultivate purity. Whereas desire for purity, oh, one day I want to become pure. I want to become pure. That is a desire. Ambition is that I want to become a great, I want to have Nobel Prize, suppose somebody say. Ambition is to have Nobel Prize. But his aspiration will be to know the truth in science. Suppose he is a physics student. Then his aspiration is to know the world through his science, through physics. Not to have Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize may be on the way he will have. If he is a real scientist and he has done something good, Nobel Prize will come. But in the name of I will have one day Nobel Prize, he is not putting his mind to his action. So, purity of the mind, the shuchitva of the mind goes by desire, ambition, everything. Even blaming tendencies, enmity towards others, jealousy. Jealousy is a constant force which is spoiling the mind. Shall I say especially the women? I don't know. That everybody has jealousy. So, this antas shaucham is very important, and any of these qualities, you take it to its peak, it is the soul, Atma. Because what is the purest we know? Atma, which does not get tainted by anything, which does not get affected by anything happening. So we talk about the concept of the Atma is the parakashta of Shuchittam. That is the highest peak of Shuchitva. So as we cultivate these gunas, as we become more and more Shuchi, we become closer and closer to the Atma, is it not? So actually cultivating these qualities itself will take us closer and closer to the soul. And that is the purpose of a Brahmana. Brahmana is given to sattva guna, who has to overcome the sattva guna and have the knowledge. And he will preach also, he will teach also others. That is the Brahmana's work. Kshanti. Kshanti means forgiving and forbearing also. Basically forgiving others. That means even if somebody does something wrong to him, he will not fight back. Brahmana nature should be forgiving. That is a sannyasin's code also, is that he should not fight back. If suppose in hills and say in Rishikesh, one sannyasin is staying and doing his sadhana in a kutya. There are many kutyas where he is staying. One sannyasin had come there in Kailash ashram. He came and he was complaining to the Maharaj there that he was sitting, he was doing his sadhana. Two other sadhus came and they asked him to go away, otherwise they will beat him. So, Maharaj, what shall we do? I had asked permission to stay there, but the sadhus are coming and attacking me. I had to go away. Maharaj listened to all. It is not your property. They had given you, but you cannot say that you can protect you also. So he said that the sannyasin, if any opposition is there, Lati kamandalu uthao, chal pado. That you take your stick and your water pot and you walk to another place. If nothing is available, sit under a tree and do your tapasya. Why should you fight back that they have asked me to go away, I cannot do anything? And he cannot do anything also. So, kshanti is the forgivingness, not to fight back. But of course, he can fight for social causes and all. That is different. Not for selfish aim. Fighting for, not for personal gain. For social causes, he can fight. Arjavam, this is a great quality. Arjavam, it has come from Riju. Riju means straight. Arjava is the Rijutvam. Same. Straightforwardness we say, but actually it is much more than straightforwardness also. It is being true to oneself. No covering, no deceit should be there. Arjavam, whatever he is, he will openly present himself like that. There is no cover up, there is no deceit, there is no trying to imposter, we say, disguise oneself or to present in a different manner. We are always presenting us in a different manner. Even in the ashram also, we are afraid that if our guru comes to know of my bad qualities, then I will be degraded in his value. Or he will not love me as he otherwise will. These are all misunderstanding. It is never so. The more we open ourselves before the guru, the more lovable we become. The discipleship means absolutely unrestricted openness, straightforwardness, openly. So this is a Brahmana svabhava, that a Brahmana should have all these qualities. According to that, he will do the karma, the whatever activities he will do. Jnanam, Vijnanam. Jnanam means erudition, knowledge, practice of knowledge. Vijnanam means realization also. If you just remain with the Vedic knowledge, doing rituals and all, you are not fulfilling your Brahmana work. Brahmana, what do you call it, status or Brahmana activities. The Brahmana life you are not fulfilling if you remain a priest and remain only with the rituals or so. Because all the Shastras you are using for your purpose, the objective of the Shastras is to make you a knower of truth. So at the right point you should try to make your jnana vijnana. Vijnana means the realized truth. It is not taken from the books only. It's not erudition, but realization, actualization of the truth. Astikyam. Astikyam, generally we say one who have faith in God. Actually it is not just faith in God. It is faith in the Guru Vakya and Shastra Vakya. That's mean having the Shraddha on Guru Vakya and Shastra Vakya. That is whatever truth has been spoken of, having enough of respect and value for that. These are the Brahma Karma Svabhavajam. That means a Brahmana by Varna, according to the qualities, if somebody is a Brahmana, his life should manifest these qualities. Through his actions, these are the qualities to be manifest. So you can naturally see that he cannot become a businessman proper. Because in the business, you have to, they say satyanrita, Vaishya dharma is satyanrita. That means, suppose your material is not very good and there is some defects in it, are you going to openly tell your customer that no, this defect is there? Will anybody buy your product then? Even in getting your daughter married, if you first of all tell all the durgunas or the defects your daughter has, will your daughter ever get married? You have to cover it up, say the gunas. If they ask, then you have to tell the truth. That is different. But you have to cover up. You cannot be an open book like as they are saying Arjava and all. It cannot be like that. Shamodamastapashaucham
Shamodamastapah shaucham
Kshantirarjavamevacha
Kshantirarjavamevacha
Jnanam vijnanamastikyam
Jnanam vijnanamastikyam
Brahma karma svabhavajam
Brahma karma svabhavajam
Shauryam tejo dhrutirdakshyam
Shauryam tejo dhritirdakshyam
Yuddhe chapyapalayanam
Yuddhe chapyapalayanam
Danamishvara bhavascha
Danamishvara bhavascha
Kshatram karma svabhavajam
Kshatram karma svabhavajam
Shauryam tejo
Shauryam tejo
Dhritirdakshyam
Dhritirdakshyam
Yuddhe chapyapalayanam
Yuddhe chapyapalayanam
Danam Ishvara bhavascha
Danam Ishvara bhavascha
Kshatram karma svabhavajam.
Kshatram karma svabhavajam.
Who is the right type of a Kshatriya? Shauryam. Shauryam means parakrama. That means valor. We can say valor, Shauryam. Because Kshatriya, what is his duty? He has to protect truth. He has to protect the society. So he must be righteously courageous to fight, even to die also if necessary in the yuddha. So he must have enough of valor. If the Kshatriya becomes timid, then the country will suffer. There is a theory, there is an observation. How much it is true, I don't know, because to know a motion of the society, there are various factors play. But this is also one factor which has played, that we became easily invaded by other people. We became paradhina, that means, what is the English of paradhina? Subordinated by the invaders. Because by that time our Kshatriya clan had lost their valor. The Rajas, and they had done some mischief also by, we say that Mirzafar was the, what is it called? Traitor. So all those cunningness and various things had come. And particularly it is said that that Ashoka, who was a great valorous king, who in the war he got so much affected by the killing and all, finally he became a Buddhist. And after Ashoka, he was such a great king, everywhere the kings started becoming Buddhists. They were all sworn into Buddhism. Now Buddhism at that time was very much given to ahimsa, was the main. Ahimsa was the main dharma for them. So for a Kshatriya, ahimsa cannot be the main dharma. He has to punish the bad people. Otherwise the bad people will sit on the shoulder of the good people. The good people will suffer. If you read Yoga Vasishta, everywhere you will find this, that a Raja, if he is too good, he is very sattvic, he will not be able to rule the kingdom, because he finds it very difficult to punish people. What will happen to his family? What will happen to his wife? He will start shedding tears. How can he give capital punishment to such a person? So many Rajas left the throne because of that, not being able to bear the Raja Dharma. That Raja Dharma is considered to be very, very penalizing. So they left. And there is a story of two Rajas like that. They left and one got in touch with a Mahatma and then attained this knowledge which makes one Trigunatita. That from the sattva guna predominance he became Gunatita. And he came back and again ruled the kingdom without any problem. That is why in our country the Rajarshis were essential, because good kings only becoming good, they cannot rule the kingdom properly. They have to become Raja Rishi. They have to know the truth and have to become Gunatita to rule the kingdom properly. Because they have to punish, they have to take to various things, they have to have spies going here and there. Ruling a country, you cannot be very honest and always just truthful and good person like that. You have to know how to control the bad elements. Not only in our country, in the neighboring country also, what are the bad elements? Are they going to attack us? Then how to make him subdued? Send something, send spies, something you have to do. All these things a king will have to do. So our mantra was Ahimsa paramo dharmaha, dharma himsa tathaivacha. Ahimsa paramo dharmaha, dharma himsa tathaivacha. Ahimsa is definitely the great, because you should not hurt anybody at all, non-hurting. But dharma himsa is also equal. Otherwise, dharma means to establish dharma, to protect law and order. You have to take to himsa. Just like Arjuna was asked to do. The police people, if they take to non-hurting, they cannot do the police's job. So many swadharma will have bigunaha. That means anybody's police, military, their swadharma is to fight. And it is not a very good. So their swadharma will have certain abominable characteristics. For that, he should not live. He should rather become Trigunatita to be able to do whatever is necessary. It's guna guneshu vartante. It's the functioning of the gunas going on everywhere. I have to do my duty. I am not killing anybody because of my personal gain or personal enmity or personal jealousy or anything like that. That is non-hurting. I have to be non-hurting on the basis of any personal elements. But at the same time, we have to give the punishment and other things which are hurting to others in the general sense. We have to do it. So, Shauryam is the characteristics of the Kshatriya. So what I was saying, I don't know whether I completed. Because of the Buddhist influence, the Rajas became very mild. Because they were not fighting anymore. In our country, Rajas used to fight the Rajas because they have to keep, the military will have to keep their everything ready. Valor, it was just as a game also Rajas were fighting with each other to keep the Shaurya at the top. But what happened then? Because of Buddhism, they all became ahimsa practitioners. So there was no king who could protect our country. Everywhere that was falling. There is enough truth in it. That may not be the only reason. There will be other reason also, that our country remained under foreign rule for a very long period, say for almost 1500 years. And in between also, before that also, they have come and destroyed many things. That just now I talked about the Takshashila University. It is believed that it was destroyed by the Hunas, who came from a little up there. So Hunas did not rule our country, but they came and invaded and destroyed. So many times our Nalanda University was destroyed by Bakhtiyar Khilji, no? Who is that? Bakhtiyar Khilji, I think. From Turkish invasion. At that time, that is after the Takshashila fell, there were 6 universities, international universities flourishing in the eastern India. Nalanda was the most prominent, and there were Vikramashila University and others in the Gauda region, that is Bengal Bihar region, the eastern India. There were 6 universities, international universities, of which Nalanda was the greatest. And Nalanda, when the invaders burnt Nalanda, it says that for 3 months the library building burned. It was a 9-storied building. 2,000 teachers and 10,000 students were burnt alive. Only few could escape. They had taken some scriptures to China, and from there it was translated and brought back also, or remained there. So this kind of invasion, to protect one from there, the king has to be valorous, powerful. They have to revel in the art of war also. War was considered to be a war, a art. The archery was art, that military art. Tejaha. Tejaha and Shaurya, there is a fine shade of difference. Tejaha means very powerful. Shaurya means valor actually. Tejaha also means brilliance. But here for the Kshatriya, you can say it is spirited, you can say brilliance, both. That means you may have valor, but you should be very spirited to protect the land also. Dhritihi. Here, the dhriti we have already learned that dhriti means retentivity, but dhriti also means persistence. And in this case, dhriti has a better English term, that determination. That is also dhriti, because if you have the determination, then you will persist. Otherwise, first you go to fight and the moment you will run away. The determination should be that I will fight back. That spider and King, what is King Lear and the spider? No? Something. King Bruce. That determination has to be there. Dhritihi. Then dakshyam. Dakshyam means it has come from dakshata. Dexterity, dakshata. He has to be very daksha. Skillful. Because otherwise you cannot protect the country or protect your rajya. You have to have very good spies, you have to listen to the spies, you have to know various things, where we should take to Maitri, where we should take to war. Maitri means we can go and have sandhi, or what is the power of the other people, how are they going to attack, are they thinking of attacking us, or we can become very good friends and then we have a bigger country or more power. All these things fall under the dakshata, the dexterity of a king. Yuddhe cha api apalayanam. When you are fighting, should not run away from there. In Mahabharata, that where they were having the 14th, that Ajñātavāsa, the prince there, what was his name? Virat Raja's son. Uttara. Uttara was the princess and Uttara was the prince. He was like that. He will do lot of asfalana, there was lot of pride and all that, but seeing he would run away. So Arjuna was his teacher, so he took to that and he could fight the Kauravas over there. But Virata Raja also was like that. Yuddhe chapi apalayanam, not running away from the war field. Dhanam Ishvara bhavascha. Dhanam Ishvara bhavascha. Dhanam is gifting, but it is not just gifting. It is the power of dispossessing. That is freedom from possessiveness, you can say. If you have, you can gift also. But as a characteristic, as a characteral quality, it should be that you have everything. You have the palace, you have the largest kingdom, but you will not feel possessive about it. That possessiveness is the culprit there. So a Kshatriya should have enough, should have various things with lot of samriddhi, a lot of riches, everything. But he should not feel possessive about it. Wherever it has to be utilized, he will utilize without any. Otherwise, he will start accumulating, like Nachiketa's father. And Ishvara bhavascha. Ishvara means the controller. Isha means controller. That is like the Lord. He should be able to keep everybody under control. Unless he has that kind of a ruling personality, he will not be able to be a proper Kshatriya. So these are the qualities of a Kshatriya. Kshatram karma svabhavajam. These are the qualities of a Kshatriya. Because the Kshatriya's work is to protect and rule the kingdom and looking into the welfare of the people. Later on, I will say how a knower is at the same time all the four varnas. He has to be in a way. That is, how a Brahmana becomes a super Brahmana, how a Kshatriya becomes a super Kshatriya, how a Vaishya becomes a super Vaishya. That means remaining in his karma where he excels that and becomes a knower. Transcends that corresponding. The third one I will not explain, but I will just read. Krishigauraksya vanijyam
Shigauraksya vanijyam
Vaishya karma svabhavajam
Vaishya karma svabhavajam
Paricharyatmakam karma
Paricharyatmakam karma
Shudrasyapi svabhavajam
Shudrasyapi svabhavajam
Krishigauraksya vanijyam
Krishigauraksya vanijyam
Vaishya karma svabhavajam
Vaishya karma svabhavajam
Paricharyatmakam karma
Paricharyatmakam karma
Shudrasyapi svabhavajam.
Shudrasyapi svabhavajam.
See, with time these gets a little mixed also. Here the Vaishya karma is Krishi Gau Raksha. That means keeping the cows, maintaining the cows, doing cultivation, and Vanijya means trading. Now this trading is considered to be the Vaishya dharma, but actually Krishi and Gau Raksha, these have gone to the Shudra dharma in the present world. But it hardly matters, that can happen with the change of time. Various things will undergo changes correspondingly. Even Brahma karma and Kshatriya karma also has undergone change. But basically these are the qualitative differences. That is, they will be given to Krishi and make the grains, the food available to others. And Vanijya, trade also, it is making the product, the produce from here, he is reaching to everybody. You can understand that none of these four is dispensable. All are indispensable, equally indispensable. And what is the basic good element in the Vaishya karma? Sharing. Is it not sharing? He is making everything available to everybody, taking things from here. So it is, in our country, it was nothing was meant for your own money or only for your gain, your personal swartha, not for your selfish gain. Vaishya should know that my duty is to share, that those who are doing their work sitting in that, my duty is to share the property and bring it to everybody. In the process, he will get money also. He needs money for living. That is fine. But it's not profiteering. Profit will be there to keep his business alive. That is why we have these rules in Gujarat and Rajasthan. It is still practiced that so many percentage of your profit should be given to for the people who are not related to you at all. It is given like that, 11% or 25%, whatever, in that might have changed also now. Whereas the Shudra karma is Paricharyatmakam karma. That means they are very good in serving people, because they may not have very sharp intelligence to do anything, or they may not have the capacity to do the trading also. That also needs lot of business acumen and all. But they have a body with which they can serve, and they have the serving mentality. So what is the serving mentality? It is seva. When you think Shudra karma is not at all bad, without that service, how will people live? They need service. And they should do it with the mentality of doing seva to others, that I am serving. See, even a knower, when he is going and talking different places, what is the main motivating factor? Can you tell me? One is love for others, another is to serve others. Help for, we can say, but it is basically doing seva. So he is actually, it is the love for the people and to help the people whom he loves, to serve them. Although people say that they are sevaks and the saint is a saint and others are sevak, but real sevak is the saint. So he is at once, he is Vaishya and Shudra. Vaishya means out of love. He is sharing. What is he sharing? Knowledge he is sharing. In the process, if people give money, he shares money on the dana satra and all. That is subsidiary. But basically, he is sharing knowledge. And he is doing seva to others. In the first case, because knowledge is his mainstay, so the Brahmana dharma we don't have to say. It is knowers, is to jnanam and vijnana is his main profession, or whatever you can say, his main work, activities. But how he is becoming Kshatriya also? Because when you discover, next day I will take it up, in Shvetashvatara, the beginning itself, it is saying that they were discussing this in the Gurukula school. They were discussing about what is Brahman, what is this, what is that, etc. A lot of discussion took place. They could not find anything. Why this life is, where this life is going. Is it the self? That because nothing can be done without the self. So is the self the most important? Then they themselves thought that no, but the self is slave to everything, to the sukha dukkha. Because to him, to them, the self is the I, normal I, we have personality limited I. So it is becoming dukkhi in dukkha, sukhi in sukha. So it is not the controller, ultimate controller. So by logic, not being able to find out the ultimate answer, they took to dhyana yoga anugata apashyan. They followed the dhyana yoga. That means meditation which will take them to the yoga, ultimate fusion of the small identity with the universal identity. What did they see? I forgot. Is it here? You remember? Te dhyana yoganugata apashyan. Devatma Shaktir Swagunair Nigudha. What did they see? Devatma Shaktir Swagunair Nigudha. Deva Atma Shakti. So not being able to find out by argument and discussion and logic, they took to dhyana yoga. That means meditation which will take them to the inmost level where they get connected to the ultimate soul. There, what did they find? Deva, as I said this morning, now. Deva means the brilliance. Deva means God. But actually Deva we refer to brilliance, which is the ultimate revealer, ultimate prakasha. That is called Deva. That means they discovered that the ultimate revealer, who is our Atma, Deva Atma. That is the Atma, that is the self we are referring to. And Shakti, That itself is the energy, that the huge power of energy, whatever we are seeing in the universe, playing, galaxies are getting born, galaxies are getting destroyed. All these powers are where? They are all in the a play in the consciousness. So they discovered that power also there. So for a knower, when he discovers the ultimate truth, his own Atma, it is a discovery of the genesis of the entire power which is running the universe also. There he becomes the master of the energy. He is a Kshatriya there. His work as a Kshatriya comes there. That he is not only just giving a knowledge, but the knowledge with power. He is handling a tremendous power there. So that is how we say that all the four varnas are activated in a knower. They are all there. So how can you say that it is division? It is unification. In our country, all the varieties and divisions, they are not to divide. The varieties are always encouraged in our country. Whether it is music, art, science, wherever. In human beings, puja, 33 crores of devas, devis. All the varieties are encouraged not to divide the people, but to unify them on that single basis of the truth, or Atma, or Brahman. Everything is, substratum is the one on which all these varieties flourishing. We will take it up again tomorrow. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodha swarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodha swarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi.
The manifestation of the svabhava, genetic.
Huh?
When the word svabhava, swa is
Swabhava means prakasha, manifestation. What is the swa? Our basic truth is our consciousness, the soul. But the soul, when it is in association of the body, it is appearing different. Your soul, his soul, her soul. The soul is same. But the soul is manifesting with the association of the body-mind personality. So it will take the body-mind personality qualities. You cannot say fully genetic, because if you give different ahara to the body-mind personality, they will change. By giving ahara, it will change. So the prakasha also will be correspondingly changing. Is it clear?